Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and today I want to talk about my favorite single-player FPS games. Doom Eternal has to be one of the greatest FPS games I have ever played. I remember my friend Mitch was always recommending this game to me, and I finally saw it on sale and I bought it. I instantly fell in love with the gore in this game and the gruesome melee kills you could perform. I knew I was in for a good ride. The game has you play as the Doom guy, trying to save the world from being invaded by hell. The invasion is led by a demonic alien named Khan Makir, at least I think that's how you say her name, and her underlings, the Hell Priest. The mission is simple. We are required to hunt and kill the 3 Hell Priests that are hidden before it's too late. The gameplay has to be some of the most fun and solid gunplay that I have played in a long time. Its fast-paced boosting, stomping, and dashing always have me moving around trying not to get obliterated by demons trying to kill me in every direction. Weapons, like I said before, are solid, and the variety you get to choose from is great. Some of my favorite weapons had to be the super shotgun with its grappling hook. It had me grappling towards foes, blasting them away, was just so satisfying. I also really enjoyed the combat shotgun. Once you acquired the full auto mod, I had a blast using that thing. And lastly, we have the BFG. I loved vaporizing demons with this overpowered machine. I also loved performing melee kills in this game with the blood punch, or even just using that chainsaw was so awesome. Another thing I liked that kept the game fun was the upgrade system it has. You had the option to mod your weapons and upgrade your power suit with perks. The game even does a great job with its platforming elements, and I really like the climbing and the jumping in this game. I never thought first-person platforming could be such a fun time. I also love the boss fights in the game as they were fun and challenging, especially the last one. Man, that guy had me going on for at least an hour at most. Overall, I enjoyed Doom Eternal's gory and action-packed adventure of killing demons and saving Earth. I 100% recommend this game, and it actually made me want to go play more retro-style shooters, and I've been actually really enjoying them. The most recent one I've been playing was called Medieval. The next game I want to talk about is Metroid Prime 3. Metroid Prime 3 was my first Metroid game, and it definitely won't be my last. I was very shocked that I've never played any of these games while growing up. When I started playing this game, all I knew about Metroid was that Samus looked really cool in her power armor, and she was in Smash Bros. The game has you play as an intergalactic bounty hunter, as we know, Samus, who becomes infected with Phazon by her doppelganger, Dark Samus. Samus works to prevent the Phazon spreading to other planets while being corrupted by the Phazon. I really enjoyed playing this game with the Wii controls. I thought they were solid, and I never thought I could enjoy playing with a motion controller as much as I did. I enjoyed scanning the various enemies and bosses, learning their weak points, and blasting them. Aiming and shooting at various weak points never got boring. On top of that, Samus had a missile ability that she could unlock, and it felt really awesome. You also had her new Phazon ultimate ability I loved, where you could harness the power of Phazon that was corrupting you and could shoot it from your cannon like a beam. You only could use this ability for a short time, but the thing really honestly packed a punch. Locking on and shooting enemies with Samus's blaster feels great, but the one thing I most loved about this game was how interactive the worlds and the levels felt. I loved being able to solve multiple environmental puzzles. I honestly went to a guide at first because I was stuck for a while. Then I figured out that I needed an item to access an area, and it had me so excited to learn more. Platforming is also great in this game, and I especially liked once you got to the planet Elysia. I liked the way that you could use the zip lines that connected the world and how you had to be aware of the enemies while using them, but on top of that, you also had to be aware of certain obstacles. Another thing on Elysia was I liked that you could be shot out of a cannon. I found that was really super cool. Also, I liked that you could use your grapple to pull out platforms, or you could remove obstacles that were obstructing an area. You could also use it to traverse over gaps. Another thing I enjoyed was her ball form, as you could use it to access various hard to reach areas that Samus wouldn't be able to get to in her regular form. Or it could be used to power up various objects in the world. I also like how it plays with 2D in some levels when you're in the ball form. Overall, I really loved my experience with Metroid Prime 3, as it's not an action-packed shooter like Doom, but it kept me thinking and on my toes throughout the whole experience. I really want to play Metroid Prime Remastered, and hopefully I will sometime soon. The last game I want to talk about is the Borderlands series. The Borderlands series had to be on this list, as I've had so many great memories while playing these games. Being a vault hunter and killing bandits, skags, and alien vault gods is such a good time. I also can't forget to mention our amazing cast of characters like Handsome Jack, Marcus, Moxie, Claptrap, TK Baja, Tiny Tina, and many more. The game always had me laughing to tears with its goofy humor on top of its great and addictive gameplay loop. I also love the different manufacturers in this game, as you had different manufacturers that made guns look and feel all unique. This is really shown in Borderlands 3, as you have the Hyperion weapons, which will have a more robotic and futuristic feel to them, or you had the Jacob weapons, which had an old school and western feel to them. I also like the different elemental types that the game has to offer with the weapons, as you will have incinerary, corrosive, shock, explosive, and later in other games they added a variation called slag. Borderlands is a looter shooter, and it also has different rarity types like commons, uncommons, rares, epics, and legendaries. The legendaries are the most unique out of all the weapons, and I really loved the ones in Borderlands 1. Also in Borderlands 1, you had these alien weapons or Iridian weapons that you could get, and I thought these were the coolest weapons at the time. I also liked Borderlands' bosses. Some of my favorites were Cromorax, General Knox, the Warrior, Sledge, Terramorphous, Hyperius, the Gravelord, and there's honestly so much more I could go on. I also think Borderlands does an amazing job with each class and their skill trees. Sirens are probably the best in every game, as they're basically chosen humans born with godlike powers, being able to charge vault keys and use powers like Phase Walk and Phase Lock. Phase locking allows you to lift different foes off the ground in a stasis bubble. A class that I enjoyed in Borderlands 3 was the Beastmaster. Flak, he was able to control these creatures at his side, which I loved. Another class I liked was the Gunzerker from Borderlands 2. You were able to wield two guns at once, so you would have an assault rifle in one hand and an SMG or a pistol in the other, and man, this thing really was a really fun time to use. Like I said before, you also had skill trees that allowed you to gain critical weapon damage, upgraded reload speed, you could gain resistances, or you could lower the cooldowns of your abilities or ultimate abilities. I think Borderlands 3 does a phenomenal job at refining this, making it the best use of the skill tree system in any Borderlands game. Overall, I have such a fun time playing these games. I go through multiple playthroughs once a year. If you haven't played a looter shooter or are into Destiny but want more looter shooter fun, I definitely recommend this series. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. What is your favorite single player FPS game? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.